All right, so today I'm going to make a very simple gun. It shoots, it does damage, and it makes noise. So we don't have animations, cooldown, reload, stuff like that. I can do that in other videos. Most people just want a really simple gun to get started. So this one, I'm going to shoot my alt. Boom, boom. Cool. I don't want to kill him. I'm going to shoot from my alt so you can hear the sound roll off. Let me see. Ooh, I got him too, pretty far away. The phone is tiny. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so I got an empty world right here, and I am not artistic, so I am going to use somebody's mesh part. So there's no scripts, no nothing, but it is a mesh part. Somebody imported it into Blender or in from Blender or something like that. Let's go ahead and search for pistol. And we'll grab one of these. Let's try this one. And it's huge. That's cool. Somebody did bring that in from some other modeling software. We'll go ahead and close that. Let's find out what the front is on this. So I hit this plus sign, put a decal on there. Look at that. The front is to the left. We're going to have to remember that. Oh, and if you hover over it, you're going to change where the decal is. But you can go down here to click on decal to face, and then now it is on the front. Cool. So front is to the left. Let's go ahead and make this small so that we can use it. It's too big now. I'm going to get rid of the decal because it's annoying. Get the pistol, look for size, and I want the X to be, I want this to be about 1.7 studs. Let's shrink this down. We have our scale here. And then I'm going to get that green dot. I'm going to hold down the shift. I'm going to make it real small. That's like 6. That's still 6.6 studs. Hit F to frame in, get close. Get that dot, shift. 1.7 is good. Should we chance it? Ah, there we go. I like that. Cool. Now we need to put this into a tool in order to pick it up. Let's go to workspace, hit the plus, maybe hit a T so you can get tool to pop up. TO maybe. There we go. Tool. And the tool needs a base part, which is going to be the pistol. We're going to drag that in. Cool beans. And I am going to make the handle separate because I do not want to mess around with the tool's grip, the forward, grip forward, grip pause. I'm just going to use the handle and modify that. I think it's easier. So hit the plus sign on the tool, get a part. This is going to be my handle. All right, so a capital H, handle. That when you go to pick up the tool, the handle is going to determine how you're holding the tool. So I'm going to make this really small. It doesn't need to be big. I'm going to make this 0.1 by 0.1 by 0.1. It's going to be inside my gun. Make sure collisions are off, and let's put that handle inside our gun. So go to pistol. That's a base part. It's a mesh part, right? And then let's look for position. There we go. Position. Go ahead and copy that. I'm going to do a Control C to copy. You can right click copy. And now I'm going to go to my handle, go to position, and do a Control V to paste. Hit enter. Voila. There we go. Cool. I'm going to move it a little bit more. Move. And I'll put it right about where the handle is. Now remember, when you pick something up, your character is going to hold it depending on the orientation of the handle, which I think is so much easier to move. So we need to make sure this handle and this pistol are welded together some way. I'm going to go to the tool, hit the plus, do a weld constraint because they're easier, but they do break. So you have to be careful if you have explosions and stuff like that. You're going to have to account for the fact that weld constraints can break. So I'm going to do this weld constraint. Hit the plus for the part 0, get my pistol, part 1, get my handle. You could do this in any order, and now it'll stick together. Let's go ahead and play it. Let's pull our what do you call it? Spawn location a little bit closer to the gun so we don't have to go looking for it. Now don't get excited because this is probably going to be not right. Oops, if I can get it. I'm kind of a boomer here. There we go. So it is pointing the wrong direction. It's actually pointing the right direction depending on how you're viewing your handle. What we're going to do is orient the handle a little bit so it points forward. We need a 90-degree adjustment. We don't know if it's plus or minus 90 degrees. If it's minus, it'll go backwards, and then you just make it a plus. Actually, because I'm guessing 90 degrees, I think I'm going to start out with negative 90 degrees because I'm like usually always wrong on my first guess. So I'm going to go to my handle. I'm going to go to orientation, and Y is the up and down. That's what we needed to change the orientation to. Here we go. I'm going to make it a negative 90 degrees, right? So it's going to be either plus 90 or negative 90. 50-50. We just change it if it's going the wrong way. Oh my goodness. There we go. Look at that. Nice. Let's add some scripts. Let's make it do damage. Let's make it make noise. All right, before I do anything, I'm going to get the bang. So let's go to our toolbox. We no longer need meshes. Let's go to audio. And I'm going to call this like gunshot. Gunshot. Nah, that's pretty good. Insert. Cool. And I want to insert it on a base part. I think I'm going to use the pistol instead of the handle. If you put a noise on a base part and you're calling it server side, you're going to get the sound roll off for distance, and you want that. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of that space so I can use the dot notation when I'm accessing my sound. Otherwise, you have to do that square bracket speech quote notation, right? That's easy. The dot notation is easier. So we got our sound in there. We need a local script for our equipped and unequipped and our mouse stuff. There it is. I'm going to call that shoot. And then I need a server script too. So that's for damage and sound. You want everybody to experience the damage and the sound. So go to this regular script, click that, and then we'll call this damage, but we'll do more than damage in the server script. Right, but at least it makes sense and you kind of know where to start. And now we need something so that the shoot can talk to the damage and vice versa. Let's hit this plus sign again, hit an R, remote event, and I'm not going to bother renaming it because we're only going to have one, so we won't get confused. Let's double click on shoot and start there. Shoot. All right, I'm going to get rid of that print statement. We don't need it. And I'm going to get a reference to the gun, script.parent. Then I'm going to get a reference to my remote event, all right? Script.parent, and make sure you do wait for child, because if this is in your starter pack or your backpack and you start your game, you're going to get an error. You have to do a wait for child, right? Remote event. Same with like particle emitters and stuff too. And let's see. Let's go ahead and get a variable for our player. I'll just make it nil. We'll get a variable for our mouse. I'll make that nil. And I need a variable for my connection from the unequipped to the activated, but I'm going to make it nil right now. Now I'll do a function for my on activated. And when we activate, we're going to fire, right? The only thing I'm going to do here is get my remote event, fire server, and send my mouse.target. And it could be nil. Like we could be shooting in the air, but that's all right. We still want it to fire. And then when I equip my gun, I want to initialize my variable. So I'm going to say gun equipped connect. I'll do an anonymous function. So there's no name, right? We'll just do the function right here in line. And then I'll say player equals game.players. So we're calling the player service. And then we'll have .local player, because this is a local script, so we can get the local player. We'll get our mouse. We'll say player get mouse. There we go. And then I'm going to connect. I'm going to get a connection, that variable up here, and I'm going to make that equal to gun activated connect on activated. Cool, and we didn't get any extra parentheses there. If you do, get rid of them. So now we have shooting capabilities. Let's go ahead and make an unequipped. I'm just going to copy it and then paste it. Boom, this is going to be unequipped. There we go. Here, I'll make that nil. The player and the mouse, you probably don't have to make nil. But for the connection, you really do want to disconnect when he unequips because connections use resources. So let's do connection, disconnect, and that will free up some resources. If a lot of people have guns, it's going to make a difference. Let's see. All right, I think we're good here. Let's go over to our server script, which is damage, right? And we'll get started on that. I want to get my remote event. We'll say local RE script.parent. And remember, we need our wait for child for our remote event so we don't get any errors when it's in the starter pack, which goes to the backpack. And then we'll do a damage number. We're probably going to have to nerf this, right? 20 is pretty high for a pistol. And then we'll do a variable for the bang, right? The sound. Script.parent. What do we call that? Gunshot. Where is it? Oh, it's on the pistol, isn't it? Script.parent pistol. Gunshot. Ah, there it is. I forgot. There. Oh, it's right here. I could even see it. Anyway, let's continue. Let's make a function called onShoot, right? We're going to get our player because we're going to catch this from the remote event. And it's coming from a local script, so player will get sent. And then we have our target, right? I believe in the shoot, we sent mouse.target, right? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Mouse.target. There we go. So we're going to get the target. But the target could be nil. We could be shooting in the air. Doesn't matter if we're shooting at something or not at something. We're still going to play the bang, right? But now let's check to see if the target is not nil. So if target exists and target.parent exists, because if you kill somebody and their character is being removed, the parent might not be there. You might run into a little bit of a problem. But if the parent is there and the target is there, we are going to look for the target's humanoid to see if it exists. It might not. It might be a tree or something, right? So target.parent : find first child humanoid. If we find it, then if hum will exist. Then we'll say hum take damage. Right, and then we'll have our damage. What? Damage. Cool. And then we got to go ahead and get this thing going. So I'm going to get my remote event down here. Where's my enter button? There we go. RE on server event, right? Because we fired the server event on the client side. Connect that to on shoot. Put parentheses in, get rid of those two. And we are done. Let's go ahead and try it. Ooh, let's get some zombies. Let's go to toolbox. We'll get models, zombies. Here we go, zombie. Make sure it's far enough away. Drag that out there. Yep, I know there's two scripts. Let's go and duplicate it. We don't want to just shoot one zombie. Control D. There we go. All right, let's rock and roll. Play. Oh, I got to get the gun. I should have put it in my backpack. That's all right. Let me fumble around for it. Cool, here comes the zombies. Cool beans. And if you guys want, next video, I'll add a flash, maybe an animation or something like that. So it pops up, cooldown, things like that. So I will see you in the next video.